Thank the Lord for being here. I would like to say hi to my friends and those that are watching my video, will be watching my video. I'd like to say hi, and I hope y'all get an understanding of God's Word, and may God bless you with wisdom and knowledge and understanding of His Word. Now, I'm going to get back where I left off last week. And Daniel, I'm going to recap where I left off last week. I left off in verse 6, but I'm going to recap in verse 4. The first was like a lion, it had eagle wings. I beheld till the wing thereof were plucked. It was lifted up from the earth and made to stand upon its feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. This is the first beast. This is Britain and the United States. The eagle is the United States. Our symbol is an eagle. Britain's symbol is a lion. So the first beast started out in 9/11. See, we done left God. You see, we promote homosexuality, all these things, same-sex marriage, transgender. We done left God. The church people done left God, and they accept all that. And the church people are supposed to know better, you know, accepting homosexuality and all that. They got a lot of preachers on homosexuals, and they're saying that they are Christian, but they are not Christian. We have adultery, fornication, everything in the church nowadays. We done left God, so God is punishing the people now, you know. But the people can't see, you know, while we're having all this trouble, violence, and corruption. And they wonder why we're having violence. Because they're changing God's law. You see, they promote homosexuality, same-sex marriage, you know, transgender, changing laws, so-called changing law. They think to change God's law. God said heaven and earth shall pass away before His word pass away. His word won't pass away. So they're going to make war with the saints. We're going to be getting persecuted. We don't start getting persecuted right now. That's why we are in Bible prophecy, where Jesus Christ talked about, you know, in Matthew chapter 24, where He said, there'll be wars and rumors of war. Nation will rise against nation. There'll be famine, pestilence, and earthquake. And this is where we are now in Bible prophecy. And the next thing that will be happening is we're going to get persecuted. You know, that's what Jesus Christ said in verse 9. You know, they're going to throw you in jail, some going to be killed. You know, in other nations that's already happening now, like in Syria and Egypt and Libya and other places. They're killing the saints, some of the saints, you know, being persecuted. We all going to get persecuted at the end time. All that live godly shall suffer persecution, just like Jesus Christ suffered persecution. The disciples did too, all of them. We all suffer persecution, all that live godly. But where we are in Bible prophecy, like I was saying, when nation rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, it'll be famine and pestilence, earthquake, wars, and rumors of war. The next thing, like I said, we're going to be persecution of the church, and that's all coming here. We're getting persecution overseas and killing people, but that's going to come here. But like homosexuality, all that, people committing adultery, you're saying that's wrong when they come against you. You know, fornication, boys and girls having sex without being married. See, the Bible says you're supposed to make them marry, like we used to do a long time ago. But we done left God. We didn't accept homosexuality, adultery, none of that. But we accept all that. We glorify that. You know, they're giving baby showers when a girl get pregnant and having a baby. You know, they flaunt their sexuality. You know, they're saying it's okay and nothing wrong with it. But a long time ago, we didn't accept that. You know, girls had to leave home, but the Bible said you're supposed to make them marry, but we don't want to follow God's law no more. We set our so-called own laws, and it leads to destruction, it leads to violence, you know. That's why the Lord said the world will be filled with violence, and all laws, we set our own law, put our own little law, and all laws mostly passes against men. We're supposed to be taking care of the little young boys, see that they get an education, get a good job. No, but they want to put the women above the men, the young boys, you know. And God said the man was supposed to go out there and work and take care of his family. But they don't want to hear that now. They do everything the devil do. It's the opposite of what God says. That's his job. You know, everything what God said he wants you to do, he say it another way. You know, he do the opposite of what God said. That's his human mind. You know, this human nature. You always want to do the opposite of what God said. And he can say, I'm going to show you what I can do. You know, you can do it, but that don't make that is right. It's like a person can steal and kill, but that don't make that is right. You can't justify that it is right. You know. All right, we'll go to Daniel chapter 5 and about the second beast. And it say, and I behold another beast, a second like unto a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh. Like I said, Russia will devour much flesh. It will destroy a lot of people. As the second beast, he took Georgia, like I said, in 2008, and he took Ukraine. You know, a couple of years ago. Now he took Syria. Now you're in Syria, nobody can't do him nothing. Like I said before, you know, because he had too much power. You know, and he will devour much flesh. A lot of people saying that these false prophets and saying that that Russia devour much flesh. That doesn't happen before when Stalin killed a lot of people. But no, that haven't happened yet. You know, a false prophet from South Carolina said that's happened when Stalin killed a lot of people before. But the Bible is talking about the end time. Everything started from 9/11 when God said he was going to put terror on the people. You read in Leviticus chapter 26, the first thing he said, he was going to put terror on these people. That's why we're having terrorism right now. You know, it's around the world. That's for everybody. And people are scared now. We can't trust one another or nothing. You know, that's why the Lord said in Matthew 24, you know, many will be offended, you know, will betray one another. You know, they won't be able to trust one another. And that's why we're getting that right now. But we are now starting to get while being persecuted at the church. You know. All right. It had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. You see, the third beast had 4 heads. Like I said, there'll be Russia and probably China. It could be the European nation. It could be China. You know, and the Vatican could be among them, and the Lion Nation. You know, and the Vatican will get out from the leper. When the 10 horn shows up, the Vatican, the false prophet will get with the 10 king, the 10 horn. See, the 10 horn are the 10 king. All right. Now you read in verse, let me show you in what I say, he had 4 heads. It goes to Daniel chapter 8 and verse 8. It said, and therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven. The 4 notable ones is the 4 kings. That's the third beast. You know, the third beast will rule. You know, and then we will get to the 4th beast. And these false prophets, we can't claiming that we are in the 4th beast right now. We're not in the fourth beast. The prophet from South Carolina saying that we're in the fourth beast. That is not true. We're still in the first and second beast. The Russian bear, the United States, and Britain. That's why we are in Bible prophecy. You see, his horn will be broken. And a lot of people think because we done broke our rock horn, but our ram horn yet to be broken. You know, like I said, you know, just because you read that and people think that all happened all at one time, that's not so a lot of time when you're reading the Bible. Like I said, a thousand years for us is one day for God. And one day for God is 1,000 years for us. You see. See, when it be 1,000 years for us is one day for God. That's how it is, you know. But, you know, the people don't understand how God do things, you know. Everything must follow in order according to God's word. You know, God's word are true, but a lot of people don't understand it. They want to jump to the end too quick. That's why they be false prophet. It'd be like Hananiah. He jumped to the end too quick. See. All right. And it's four notable ones toward the four winds of heaven. It says in verse 9, it said, and out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceedingly great toward the south and toward the east and toward the pleasant land. That's a little horn, that false prophet. You know, he don't want to get a rule at the end time. I just like we talked about in Revelation chapter 17, the woman rides the beast. A lot of people always talking about the woman ride the beast. In Revelation chapter 17. See, that false prophet, they know it, the false prophet, but the false prophet is the Antichrist. When you ride something, it's like you're riding a horse. You guide the horse where it's supposed to go. You want to go to the right, you pull to the right. You want to go to the left, you pull to the left. You know, you the one that's in charge. You the head when you ride the beast. You know, you control it. But at the end time, you know, that beast will kill or destroy that whole church. You know, just like sometimes the horse get mad at you, he throw you off. You know, it's the same thing. You know, but meanwhile, when the horses listen to you, the horse gonna do everything you say, God, and go where you want it to go. At the same time, that false prophet gonna be doing with these nations. The false prophet gonna be the head of those nations. He controlling the 10 horn. The 10 king will be ruling the whole world. In verse 22 of Daniel chapter 8 and verse 8, you see, it's the same thing. It said, now that being broken, whereas four stood up for its four kingdom, shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. You see. He won't have the power because his horn will be broken. His power will be going to those four kings, those four rulers. It'll be like the false prophet, like a Britain and Russia, and probably China or the European nation. I don't know sure yet, but most could be the European nation, or it could be China, because China is building up their military power now. So it could be China. We'll know when the time gets close. We're not there yet. We're not into the because when the third beast get here, they gonna announce those four kings, those four rulers. You know, you will see they exercise their power, their authority. You know, the Pope will exercise authority over all those churches, and they're gonna be ruling the whole world. Russia gonna rule a part, you know, and Britain gonna rule a part, and maybe China or European nation and the Vatican gonna rule a part. Before all together ruling a part, you'll be ruling the whole world. All right, Daniel 7, back to Daniel 7. I've got to read another verse in Daniel 22 I read, and Daniel 8:22 and 8:23 said, in the latter time of that kingdom, when the transgressor or come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentence shall stand up. You see, in the latter time, see, the third beast gonna have to rule a while. That's what a lot of people don't get. They think we are in the fourth beast, you know, think about to have the battle of Armageddon. That's not so yet. It's not even time yet. The two witnesses have to come. The Antichrist got to rule a while. The two witnesses haven't came yet. You know, and they're going to prophesy for 3.5 years. Then the Antichrist and his army will kill the two witnesses. You know, and the Antichrist is going to rule after that 3.5 years. It's not time yet. We're still in the second beast. The third beast going to rule a while. It tells you right here in verse 23, Daniel 8:23, saying, in the latter time of that kingdom, when the transgressor are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentence shall stand up. That's the false prophet, the Antichrist. All right. Now you go to Daniel chapters 7 and saying, after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong, and seated there, and it had great iron teeth, it devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. See, it's the 10 horn. After those 4 kings ruled a while, the third beast gonna have four heads. It'll be the leopard. There'll be 4 kings in there. After they rule a while, then in the latter time of their kingdom, then the 10 horn will come. Then the little horn will come among those 10. And say in verse 8, it said, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horn plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eye of men. You see? And a mouth speaking great things. See? That's the false prophet. See, he got plucked up them other 3 beasts who he was with. There were 4 of them. But he got out from, when the 10 horns showed up, the false prophet got out from them 3 kings who he was with. See, there were 4 of them, and the third beast, the leopard. He got out from them when the 10 horns showed up, so he got with the 10 king, and that made the 4th beast. The 10 king made the 4th beast. He came among those 10 kings. And he plucked out them other 3 beasts who he was with, like the lion, the bear, you know, what if it's China or the European nation? I don't know yet. We'll see when the time get here. See, you're going to pluck them up. And you're going to get with the 10 king. See, you're going to pluck those 3 up who he was with. It's the same thing which you read about. You can read about it in verse 20. Daniel chapter 8 and verse 20 it said, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose looks were more stout than his fellows. You see, it's the same thing what we read about Daniel 7 and 8. See, the 10 horns. See, the 10 horns showed up. You see, the 10 horns out of the kingdom were in his head, and of the other which came up, that was the false prophet that came up. Then he plucked out them other 3 and said, whom 3 fell. Now you go down in verse 24 is the same thing as verse 20. And verse 7 and 8 is the same thing. The Bible is put it in different way, but it means the same thing. And verse 24 saying, the 10 horn out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. You see, in this part he says subdue 3 kings. It's the same thing. In verse 20 he said 3 fell. See, it's the same thing. And verse 8 it said, and I considered the horn, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom whom there were 3 of the first horn plucked up by the roots. See, they were plucked up, the same thing. And in verse 24 he said he subdued 3. He plucked up them 3 kings who he was with before. That little horn, the false prophet. You see, that's what I'm trying to show people, you know. If you have an understanding of God's word, you can explain it, you know. And you can, the people can go back and read over it, and they can see and come to the same conclusion. It's the same thing. Verse 20 and verse 24 is the same, and verse 7 and 8 all is the same. We talk about the little horn plucked of them other 3 beasts. See, he was among those 3 beasts. The false prophet was among those 3 horns, 3 kings, and the leopard. On the 3rd beast, he was among those 3rd beasts, that false prophet. See, those beasts, they overlap each other. You know, like, you see, like now, first was like a lion, and Russia came in, the lion came in 2001, you know, 2002, and Russia came in 2008 when he took Georgia, 20% of Georgia. And he took Ukraine, and he into Syria now. You got a part of Syria he controlled. See? Now he's just in the 1st and the 2nd beast. The United States and Britain, that's what we are now. Then they're in Russia. They're exercising that power. Then the 3rd beast will have 4 heads. You know, and the little horn got to get out from in the latter time to live when the 10 horns show up. The little horn got to get with the 10 kings. And he got to be controlling. That's why the Bible tells you in Daniel 11, he got to make a league with those nations. A league can mean a group of nations. You know, in verse, Daniel chapter 11, verse, I think 22. Somewhere around 23, 22, somewhere around in there. You can read it on your own. All right. You see, after they break Orion horn, we haven't broke Orion horn yet. But the United States will break Orion horn, then his horn will be broken. But it's not time yet to break Orion horn. A lot of people thought Orion horn was going to be broken by now. But it's not time. If you read and understand, you will know. You see, from 2001, we only had like 3 kings in Iran. According to my knowledge, we only have 3 kings in Iran. Because the Bible is saying, you turn to Daniel chapter 11 and verse 2, it said, and now will I show thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia. See, Persia is Iran. And the 4th shall be far richer than they all. And by his strength through his riches shall stir up all against the realm of Grecia. See, all the kingdom of Grecia. See, he can stir up. You see, there's not only 3 kings now in Iran. See, the 4th king, see, because the U.S. now took sanctions against Iran. Iran gonna be far richer if another king come in. It gonna be far richer than in these kings now. You see, but the way my understanding now is only 3 kings. And when the 4th king in there, that's the 4th king they're going to fight against Iran. They're going to be far richer. Now we done took sanctions against Iran. You know, Iran going to become rich again now. The 4th king. That's what a lot of people don't see. You have to follow what the Bible said. With a lot of false prophets, they jump to the end too quick, saying that we're in the 4th beast and all that. We're not in the 4th beast. The United States horn not broken yet. And all that. Then the 3rd beast, after the United States horn be broken, the 3rd beast will come in with the 4 heads. Then a lot of time at that kingdom, the kingdom gonna rule a while, and a lot of time then the 10th horn will come up, and a lot of time the Antichrist will get among the 10 king. And that's gonna be the final beast. Right now we're just in the 1st and 2nd beast. You know, you have to read your Bible and get an understanding and listen to people. That's what's wrong with a lot of people. They follow these false prophets, one prophet, and they don't listen.